So it wasn't long ago that your boy Voxy first started playing the game. About 2.5 years ago, I would kill someone and make my way over towards the body, and then I would slowly drag their item one by one into my backpack very nervously, and sometimes I would get killed. Now we all know that looting is one of the most dangerous parts in this game because you're exposed. So the faster that you loot, the less time that you are exposed and in a vulnerable spot. So in this guide, I'm going to teach you guys how to loot like the pros. In other words, setting up hotkeys and cutting down all of your time while looting. So stick around and hopefully this guide helps you. When you're quickly looting a body, if some things are on the body that you're not currently wearing, if you simply hold down Alt and then left click on the item, it'll instantly equip if your slot is free. And the same goes to if you're just coming out of a raid. You know, you can see my backpack and rig went on. If I want to get things out of my bag instantly into my stash, instead of dragging the item, you can control drag the item. So what you do is hold down left control and then left click, and this instantly puts things into the available space. But understand also when you're looting something and you want it instantly to go into your bag or vest, the same applies. If you hold down control, it will instantly go into your bag. So I can just basically go, hey, I want this gun equipped, Alt click. I want this gun out of my inventory into my bag, etc, etc. I can toss with the control and I can toss back into the bag. So if I toss with control and then Alt with the AK, I can equip that and toss that and equip this. So anything control is bag related and anything Alt is equip related. The first thing you do is you kill the scav and you jump on the body and you don't know what you've killed and what you've got. But if you hover over the item and press middle mouse, you can actually examine all of his stuff much quicker than if you were to right click and examine this way. Another important lesson is using the middle mouse key to fold items, and also how submachine guns actually decrease in size. The first thing I'm going to see here is if I hover over each gun and press the middle mouse key, I can actually fold each gun. But the problem with some assault rifles is even if you take the magazine out, the gun actually doesn't shrink in size. And if you think about it, this gun here is actually not really worth all that much. So we'll get into that in a quick second. But the first thing that I want to teach you guys is with MP7s or MP5s or anything like that, even the MP9, it's all the same. If you take the mag out, you can notice that the gun halves in size. And this is similar to when you're in the main menus and you take the pistol grip off your AK. If I was to just grab the mag and then control click it to my vest, all of a sudden the MP7 is a far much more manageable size. Another important fact is if you're running out of space and you see a gun like this, it is really important to know what's worth it on this gun. I know if I take this Valday, it's going to be a 2-slot item. However, if I loot correctly and take the Valday off the mount or the B13 rail, I can find that the item stays as one slot, and then I can whack that in my secure container. Now you got to know that sometimes some of these guns are only ever worth just the attachments itself. Now an AK like this, although it's a decent looking AK for some of you at home, is sometimes just worth more for the attachment. So the grip, the suppressor, and the scopes are usually where the value lies. So if you're struggling for space or you just simply want to grab, as soon as I walked over, I would tax all the suppressors and the scope. Now obviously if you're not struggling for space, you don't have to do this, but it is really important to know whether it's worth it or not. So this next trick is something that even people who are quite experienced seem to overlook, but it's the quick discard key. Now as you know, if you're looking at a bag of loot, it can actually be quite distracting when you have to physically go, and time consuming as well, to right click each item and discard it. Some of you may already know, it comes defaulted to the delete key. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, down in the controls panel here, near where it says discard, you can see that I've set mine to left shift and left mouse button. Now the delete key itself is actually not a good idea, because when you do the delete key, you actually have to move your hand away from the escape key and bring it over to the other side of the keyboard. What this means is if someone was to shoot at you and you were to panic, you have to reach to the other side of your keyboard. So I have mine set to left shift and left click. Now this allows me to look at a bag of loot and decide what's worth keeping and what's not, simply by clicking, and my hand remains right next to the delete key the entire time. Another really handy tip is when you kill someone and you're not sure whether their gun has good ammo or not, you can actually quickly move over towards the body, and there's one simple way that you can check the ammo, and it's simply just by clicking on the gun, double clicking on the mag, and then dragging the icon down. Now I want someone at you at home to try and tell me what bullet that is. I can tell you for a fact that that is 7N39, a Golnik. And the reason is you can actually see the blue tips shown there. So instead of grabbing the mag, dragging it out, and then right clicking unload, and then finding out that it's an Golnik bullet, what you can do, and you can do far quicker, is take the time to learn what the markings are. So a general rule of thumb with anything 545, if you see a purple or a pink band, it means, or a red band, sorry, with no tip on top, it generally means that the ammo itself is rubbish. So if you're looting a mag, let's say I take this Golnik out of this mag and I was to put something like PS inside of it. If I was to double click the mag and drag down, you can see the first thing I'm going to see is that red ring on the ammo. So I'm instantly going to know that it is rubbish and I don't want it. Another quick way is with the 7.62s, the same thing applies. If I was to find an AK and double click on it and I quickly check and I see the red and black, that means that it's 7.62 BP, which in my opinion is the only 7.6239 worth looting. But the only issue is, guys, when you're looting, some ammos like 5.56 and also the BS and BT are actually identical. So sometimes you actually have to do this manually. Hey guys, that's it for this video. If this helped you in any single way, learn how to min-max or set up any hotkeys, and you feel like you can loot a little bit better, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. As always, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. The link will be in the description down below. And thank you so much for watching.